Okay, so this is the part 2. Instead of using lists, we're going to use arrays. So if we have an array and we want to treat it as a stack or a queue, we'll do a stack first. So this is not list, but array as stack. And again, why would we want to do this? Not sure. Why is it in the curriculum? Not sure, but it is. So 0 all the way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think that's correct. If it's not, whatever. So if we have Bob, Sue, Joe, and we want to treat this as a stack, then the last one in is going to be the first one out. So if we were accessing the last one in, it would be Joe. So how do we access Joe? Well, Joe is at number 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is correct, actually. So we need to just keep track of what the last one in was. And I don't know what we call it. I haven't looked this up, but let's call it last one in. Last one in. So there's going to be an int last one in, and that's what we're going to access. So if we're going to pop, we're simply going to sout, or do whatever we want with it, the last one in. So we'll call this name array, name ARR. So we're going to sout name ARR last one in. And then we're going to want to have nothing there anymore. So before we change what the last one in is, I guess we're going to go last one in is just assigned. If it's just a bunch of strings, nothing, because we're going to assume that by default these are nothing. They're not null, they're just empty strings because it's an array of strings. So last one in is nothing, and then we're going to need to change which the last one in is. It's going to be one less, so that's easy. It's just last one in minus minus. And that's it. We now have popped from our array the last item that was added in. So now if we're going to push, we're going to push not onto the last one, but onto 1 plus. So the pushing, again, this is all pretty straightforward, but it's good review for arrays. So if we wanted to push John on to the stack, we would go name array last one in plus plus is assigned what we're adding, in this case John. So last one in plus plus is here, and that's it. Now the question is, does last one in now point to the proper place? Well, actually it does, because of the way we did it here. We did it all in one step. We went last one in plus plus, so we're ready to add to that one, because that one is now the last one in. So that's kind of a cool way to do it in one step. Ta-da! So as a queue, array treated as a QUE, and we've got NQ, UE, and DQ. So to NQ, well, it's the same thing. So I'm not even going to do it again, blah, blah, blah. Just like with list, it's the same thing. You just keep track of the last one in. I think I said something wrong in there, by the way, a little while back. But anyway, it doesn't matter. This is good enough. So to DQ is a little bit different. If we want to DQ, we need to get the first one in. And the first one in would have been Bob, because we're adding them left to right. So we DQ, have a method for it probably, but basically we take the 0th. We take name ARR 0, and we do something with it. We sout it or whatever. So it's easy to get it because it's always going to be at the 0th element in the array. But then, like I said in class a couple hours ago, we can't just move the first one in to be that and that and that and that, because then we'd end up wasting all of our elements and eventually we'd run out of space. We always want this to be the first one in. So what we're going to have to do, and I didn't do a loop in class, I'm not going to do it now, you can picture what this would look like. Basically, the 0th has got to get Sue, the first has got to get John, and so on. So it's going to look something like this. We're going to overwrite 0 with Sue, if you can see that on the video. This is going to be overwritten with John. This will be overwritten with nothing. And this will be overwritten with that nothing, and 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 then we stop. Now, whether there's a way to shortcut that and keep track of where you were, actually, yeah, you'd throw in another variable and just keep track of how many you've got. And so you could stop at that point. But I'll leave that up to you to just think of in your head, because, again, this is just one little assessment statement that we didn't do, and it's pretty straightforward. So, the end.